Welcome to the LEDVANCE Link app, a brief guide to some of the key features of our mobile app. If you need more detailed instructions, you can download the app instruction manual from our website. Download the LEDVANCE Link app by either scanning the QR codes provided in the app instructions, product document, or searching the Google Play or Apple iOS stores. When prompted, or in your settings, allow the app access to the network, Bluetooth, and photos, as we'll be needing these for the app functionality. We'll update the app when there are new features or bug fixes, so we recommend enabling the auto update of the app so that the new version will be pushed to your device. The app has 5 main screens which you can move between to provide easy control of your devices. They are on the bottom menu bar of the screen. Lights shows all lights, the lights that are connected to the app. It allows the user to view, control, and pair lights to the app. Groups allows the user to create and manage groups of devices. Switches displays all switches that are connected to the app. It allows the user to view, edit, and pair switches to the app. Scenes allows the user to create and manage scenes. Zones refers to a Bluetooth mesh network of nodes. Nodes are devices that communicate via Bluetooth with each other. Each zone can have up to 100 nodes. It's recommended to create zones prior to commissioning to reduce the work on site. Select My Zones, then select Create in the top right, and then press Confirm. You'll then be asked to name the zone. We recommend naming a zone by project name and the project area or location within the building. For example, LEDVANCE Office First Floor. All the zones you create can be found in the My Zones list, and you can switch between them by selecting the desired zone name. Each zone will create a unique QR code that is saved on your mobile device in the photo library. The QR code stores all the configurations for the zone. Save the QR codes to a file for future use or to share. Whenever a zone is created, 2 QR codes are automatically generated. One for admin level and one for the user level. The gold-colored admin QR code allows a user to control and edit all settings within the app. The green-colored user QR code allows a user to dim, activate a scene, or control lights in the zone, but does not allow the user to add, delete, or change lights, groups, or scenes. After you create a zone and the associated QR codes, the app will automatically go to the Lights page, so you can start adding devices. We will take a look at the Lights page in more detail in the next chapter. It is highly recommended to save the QR codes to a project folder to ensure the configurations are saved and can be shared. It's best to add lights by zone, so if you need to see how to set up a zone, please review the previous chapter. We recommend not power on more than 100 uncommissioned lights. This prevents wireless communication interference. We also recommend to turn off any lights that are not being configured at their power source. This will prevent them from being visible in the Bluetooth search and make it a little easier to select the ones we need. So, to add lights, we go to the Lights page in the navigation section at the bottom of the screen and select the plus button in the upper left corner. Select Top 20 to view the 20 products with the strongest Bluetooth signal strength. Top 50 for the 50 strongest signals, or All to view all detected Bluetooth devices. The app will scan for lights that can be added to the zone. You can identify which light is which by pressing on the icon to turn it on and off. Select the lights you want to add by pressing the check mark next to the light icon. Press the Add button in the lower right to add all the selected lights you want to add into your zone. Confirm the selection by pressing Add in the dialog box. Lights will flash to indicate a successful connection. Select the Back button to return to the Lights page. To name or rename lights, do an extended press on the selected light to go to the dimming page. Press the light's name located on the upper left and enter the light's new name in the dialog box. Then press OK to save. In this screen, we can also adjust the dimming settings. The dimming settings appearance is different depending on the capabilities of the light. Adjust your settings to the desired dimming and tuning levels. Click the A button on the bottom right corner to update the auto brightness level. After making any changes to the settings, it's a good practice to click the A button multiple times, and then select the Back button. This ensures all sensors are forced into auto mode and exit any manual override. To delete lights, go to the Lights page and press the minus button in the upper right corner. Select the lights you want to delete by placing a check mark next to the desired light icon, then press Delete in the upper right. Press Delete in the dialog box to confirm. Note that the lights must be paired to the app and already added to the current zone in order to be deleted. If they are not paired, then a power reset will be necessary. The lights will flash to confirm. From the Lights page, a quick select on the lights icon will turn the light on or off. If you lightly slide your finger left or right across the lights icon, you can adjust the brightness. If you lightly slide your finger up or down on the lights icon, you can adjust the color temperature, assuming that has this functionality. To look at the dimming options in more detail, press and hold a light icon to go to the dimming settings page. The dimming settings page will reflect the functionality of the light. Set your desired dimming and tuning levels, and then select the A button in the bottom right to put the sensors into automatic mode. Then select Back in the upper left. We can also adjust sensor settings from this screen by selecting the sensor settings icon in the lower right corner. You can then enable or disable motion sensors and set levels as desired. There are two working modes or types of motion sensors: occupancy and vacancy. Each mode or sensor type has different auto mode settings. An occupancy sensor or sensor set to occupancy mode will automatically turn on when motion is detected, and either turns off or dims to a low-end trim when the first and second time delay timers time out. A vacancy sensor or sensor set to vacancy mode must be manually turned on with a switch and turns off or dims to a low-end trim when the first and second time delay timers time out if no motion is detected. After the first time delay timer times out, the lights will dim to a prescribed level. After the second time delay timer times out, the lights will go off or dims to a low-end trim. The first and second time delay timers may also be set to infinite time delay to prevent lights from turning off to meet special application requirements. In occupancy mode, you can set a manual off override time period. When the light is turned off manually by either the app, switch, or schedule, it remains off and won't be triggered by motion during this period. It will restart the time counter. After the manual off override timer times out, the lights will remain off but will be ready to be triggered by motion. Select the Save button in the upper right to save your sensor settings. The light will flash to confirm. Groups enable control of a defined set of lights or control devices. The app provides a default group named All Lights, which gives the user control over all devices in the zone. Adjusting settings in this All Lights group will affect all the lights in the zone. You can adjust brightness, color temperature, and color tuning based on the fixture functionality. Creating a group for a smaller set of devices allows users to operate lights for rooms and areas. To create a group, select the Groups page in the bottom menu and tap the plus button in the top left corner. Then name your group. Select the lights that you want to add in the group by selecting a check mark next to the desired light icon. Use the filter at the top of the screen to help add the lights to the group. The filters options are all where all lights added to the current zone are shown. Group where only the lights added to at least one group are shown, or ungroup where only the lights that have not been added to a group are shown. After all the desired lights have been selected, press Save to save the group. You'll see all the lights from the group flash to confirm they are now grouped. Linkage is a light level. You can set such that if one of the lights in the group notices motion, the other lights in the group will express the linkage brightness that you set. A single light can be a member of up to 20 groups. You can adjust the group linkage level by choosing the group you want to change and select the linkage chain icon to access the group linkage controls. Set the linkage brightness level according to your preference, and then press Save Linkage Brightness to confirm. To view lights that have multiple group linkage, select the member icon to list the lights in the group. The common member should be shown in exactly the same position in each list. If you select dimming, you can adjust all the light and sensor settings for the group, in a similar way to how we adjusted an individual light. Set the dimming and tuning to your desired levels, and set the wattage level. Select the eye icon to update the auto brightness levels. Press the sensor icon to adjust your motion and photo sensing parameters, and then press Save when complete. The lights will flash to confirm. Select Back, and we can select Auto to have the group controlled by the sensor settings we just made. To rename a group, select the name of the group you wish to rename. Enter the new name and press OK to confirm it. To delete a group, select the group you want to delete and swipe left over that group, and then confirm by pressing Delete. The member light will flash to confirm. To add or remove lights in an existing group, select which group to add or remove, and tap members to see all current lights in the group. From the Groups page, select which lights you want to add or remove, and press Save to confirm your changes. Scenes establish program settings for individual lights or groups of lights. The scenes can be set manually by users. The app also has default scenes that can be used. You can read more about those in the app instruction manual. Activating a scene will cause all members to operate the settings to the selected scene. This step is done after adding lights and groups. To create a scene, go to the Scenes page by selecting Scenes in the bottom menu, and then select the plus button in the upper left corner. Type your preferred scene name. In this example, we'll call it Warm, and then press OK. Select the icon in the top left, and choose your preferred icon for the scene. Select the lights or groups that you want to use in your scene. Press and hold either the group or light to adjust your scene settings. When you're happy with your scene, select the A icon and back. Then press Save, and the lights included in the scene will flash to confirm your settings. To edit a scene, press and hold on the scene icon. Press and hold the lights and groups to change your desired settings. Press the A button and back to resave. The lights will flash to confirm. To delete a scene, press the minus button and select the scene you want to delete. Then press Delete. The lights will flash to confirm. Now that we have zones, lights, groups, and scenes, we can add smart switches to control them. To start adding switches, navigate to the Switches page and press the plus button. The app will start searching for nearby switches. Check your switch instructions to see which buttons you need to press according to the switch type. Put the switch into pairing mode by pressing multiple buttons at one time per the switch instructions. With this switch, we press these two buttons for 3 seconds to enter pairing mode. And once detected, the switch will appear in the scan screen. Note that the switch will be added to the current zone. Once the switch is paired, we will see an image of the switch. Now we can name the switch by pressing the Settings button in the upper right corner. Select the current switch name displayed in the upper left. Enter the new switch name and press OK to save. You'll see that we have the option to associate a light or a group to the switch. Select Lights to see a list of individual lights in the zone. Now select the light you would like to assign to the switch, and press Next Step at the bottom to continue. Also, you can select Groups and choose the group that you want to be controlled by the switch. In this instance, we'll choose All Lights. Next, you'll be prompted to assign scenes to our switch. Usually, you'll have the capacity for 3 to 4 scenes. Select the scenes you wish to apply and press Save. The lights will flash to confirm. You can then test out the buttons on your switch using the switch itself. You can also delete a switch by selecting the settings icon for the switch, and then pressing the trash icon in the upper right corner. Select Delete to confirm. You can then select the back button in the upper left corner to return to the switch page. The More page lists all the information and settings for schedule, zones, force sync, lights, circadian rhythms, light info, device info, nearby lights, motion sensor testing, auto calibration, trim settings, and disable Bluetooth radio. Let's take a look at the trim settings. This allows users to set up the high-end and low-end trim that defines the maximum and minimum power for lights and groups. Select the lights or groups that you wish to adjust the trim settings. Select the desired settings and press Send to send the trim settings to the light or group. Note that there is a daylight min dim, which is the minimum dimming level that can be set for daylight harvesting when it is enabled. The circadian rhythm can change the color temperature automatically over the course of the day to mimic the natural light. It is based on specific times and always stays the same unless you manually go in and update the time. The RTC module is strongly recommended. This will only apply to tunable white lights that are set to auto mode. Motion sensor testing allows users to test if motion sensors are working properly. Lights must first be set to auto mode to run the test. When you start the motion sensor test, all the lights with motion sensors will turn off as soon as the test is started. You can then walk around to test the sensors and trigger lights to turn on. Wait for 6 seconds to trigger the sensors. There is an option to disable Bluetooth radio, which you might want to use to easily transfer control. It will disconnect all the lights connected to the app. If you choose to disable Bluetooth radio, a warning dialog box will appear explaining that you'll need to reset the controllers to factory settings to enable Bluetooth radio again. Select Continue to confirm this action. Select the lights or groups for which you want to disable the Bluetooth connection. Press Disable. The app will automatically refresh and sync your setting. Schedules allow the user to program lighting changes for specific dates and times. They can be applied to individual lights, a group, or a scene. You can create a schedule from the More page. Press Schedule. Select the plus button in the upper right corner. Type in a name for the schedule and press OK to continue. We then need to associate the schedule to lights, groups, or scenes, as well as set the schedule's time. So, on the edit screen of the schedule, select Schedule. Choose between lights, groups, or scenes, then press Done. Next, we need to set the schedule's time and date. On the edit screen of the selected schedule, press Set Time. Choose the preferred date for the schedule and the time and press Done when complete. Or, if you want to set a repeating schedule, toggle the repeat switch at the top and choose which days of the week you want the schedule to repeat. Then, press Done to continue. To add a fade time to a schedule, click on the Fade Time option and set the fade time desired. Then select Done to continue. You can enable and disable a schedule by clicking the toggle on the right-hand side. To delete a schedule, you can swipe left on your schedule and press the red Delete button, and then delete. The lights will flash to confirm. When using the scheduling feature, the RTC real-time clock module with battery backup is highly recommended to keep the correct time in case of power interruptions. Only one RTC module is required by zone, and it should be located in proximity to other nodes to ensure that the RTC can reliably communicate with the mesh network. To add the RTC clock module to the zone, click on the More button on the bottom right. Then, click on Device Info. On the Device Info screen, select Click to Add. Ensure that the RTC clock module is powered and in Bluetooth range. Scan for devices. The RTC module will show up in the app. Select the RTC module in the app and click on Add. The app asks for confirmation to add the RTC module to the zone. Confirm by clicking Add. The RTC module is now commissioned and is part of the zone. It's worth noting that the daylight harvesting sensing function is disabled by default. We'll shortly be looking at how to enable it and how to set thresholds both manually and automatically with auto calibration. Do not enable daylight harvesting if no photosensor is installed or connected. Otherwise, it may keep dimming randomly because the light cannot detect the correct ambient light level. There are 3 adjustable parameters to think about when for daylight harvesting strategies. The first is daylight harvesting minimum dim percentage. This is the minimum light level to which a daylight harvesting sensor can dim a luminaire. You can set this parameter higher if you want to keep the luminaire brighter, and set it lower if you want to save more energy. Bear in mind, you can't set the value lower than the low-end trim setting. The second parameter is the delay time measured in seconds. This is the time the sensor will wait to dim down the luminaire when ambient light levels have increased. Set this value larger if you want the luminaire to hold the current brightness level longer, even when ambient light has increased. The third parameter is the speed measured in hundreds of milliseconds. This is how quick the sensor should dim the luminaire. Set this value larger if you want the dimming process to be more gradual. First, we need to enable daylight harvesting with the toggle switch. Then, press the settings icon next to the toggle. We have 3 predefined strategies: soft, mild, and aggressive, as well as a custom option. Soft is a slower dimming speed in response to ambient light level changes. This is well suited to an independent office, parlor, or concierge area. It has a minimum daylight harvesting light level of 50%. Mild is more of a medium response time, well suited to an open office, classroom, or meeting room. It has a minimum daylight harvesting light level of 30%. Aggressive has a quick response time which would be well suited to a tea room, storage room, or warehouse space. The minimum daylight harvesting level is equal to the low-end trim, about 1% to 10%. Custom allows the user to fine-tune the daylight harvesting parameters. For photocell sensors, either indoor or outdoor, the default on-off threshold is 10 to 60 Fc, or foot candle. Users can change the thresholds if they desire. Press the 550 or 100 Fc button to set the on threshold, and the lights will turn on and off several times to auto-calibrate the off threshold. Users may input a specific foot candle value as the on threshold, and select the cal button to calculate the off threshold based on that. It will prompt a notice message during the calibration process. Please wait until the calibration ends. The light will quick flash several times if it failed to calculate the off threshold successfully. If this happens, you might need to try and calibrate another time. One reason it might fail is due to too much ambient light. You may also manually input the on-off threshold and select the send button to set the value to the sensor without calibration. There are 2 ways to restore factory settings. The first way is by deleting lights from the app. This is the easiest way. To do this, go to the Lights page and select the minus button in the upper right corner. Select the check for each light that you want to delete and reset. Press Delete. This will delete and reset all the selected lights. Confirm this by pressing Delete in the dialog box. The lights will flash to confirm. The second way to restore factory settings is to do the following power reset sequence. Some devices can also be reset by pressing the device's reset button for 3 seconds. The device documentation will have information whether this method is supported.